They say he's just a legend, an internet myth, a campfire story. But there are things you can't explain, things that stay with you long after you try to forget. I was 9 when I first saw him. It was autumn, the sun bleeding out behind the trees. My house backed up to the woods, the kind that felt endless when you were a kid. I wasn't supposed to be out that late, but I lost track of time. The air smelled of damp leaves, and the wind whispered through the branches. Then I saw him. At first I thought he was a tree. He was tall, too tall, his limbs impossibly long, dressed in a black suit. He had no face, just a blank pale mask where features should be. I froze. My heartbeat pounded in my ears. He wasn't moving, but I knew he saw me. Then, the last light of the sun dipped behind the hills, and he was gone. The night whispers. The dreams started soon after. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, unable to remember, only knowing I was terrified. But the details started sticking. A dark forest, stretching endlessly. I was running, breathless, and behind me, him. He never ran. He didn't need to. He only stood there, watching. Each night, he was closer. By the 3rd week, I stopped sleeping. Every shadow seemed too long. Every creak in my house made my skin crawl. I swore I saw him beyond the glass, standing just outside my window. Then the scratches appeared. At first, just tiny marks on my arms, my legs, like I had brushed against something in the night. But they got worse. Long, thin lines, too precise to be accidents. My parents blamed my cat, but I had started locking him out of my room. And then I saw the marks on her. The other's Emily Carter, quiet, always staring out the window. One day I noticed the scratches on her arms, just like mine. She caught me looking. "You see him too," she whispered. That's when I realized I wasn't alone. There were others, a handful of kids, all from our town, all with the same story, the same dreams, the same silent visitor. Some had seen him years ago, some had just begun. One by one, they disappeared. Emily was first, then Jared, then Mia. The adults didn't care. Kids run away all the time, they said. But we knew better, because I found Emily's diary in the woods. The last entry was barely readable, the ink smudged. I hear him whispering. He's in my head. "If you find this, don't let him see you. It's too late." I wanted to run, burn the diary, pretend none of it was real. But that night, I woke up to a new scratch on my skin. Not random this time. A word. Run. The vanishing I tried. I stayed out of the woods. I never walked alone. It didn't matter, because one night, I woke up, and he was in my room. The air was dead silent. No wind, no creaks, just stillness. And then I saw him, standing in the corner, too tall, too thin, his faceless head tilted, watching me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. My body wouldn't move. Shadows stretched toward me, long, reaching tendrils. The air crackled with something ancient, something wrong. Then, darkness. I woke up in the woods, cold, alone, the morning sun rising. My parents were frantic. The police had been searching all night. "You must have sleepwalked," they said. "You were lucky someone found you." They didn't understand, because I wasn't the same. The watching never stops. I moved away years ago. I don't go near forests. I keep the lights on. I try to be normal, but sometimes I wake up with scratches. Sometimes shadows stretch too long. And sometimes I wake up unable to move, and I know he's there, waiting.